What are we talking about today?
We're going to go into the most quintessential CoPilot discussion that happens in the office.
I just lost. I'm sorry.
And in our day-to-day work all the time that we haven't talked about much online.
All right, that's a big tease. What are we
All right.
talking about?
Traditional filmmaking versus virtual production.
Okay.
Will virtual production replace all that is? Will
Wow,
it
I feel
replace
like-
green screen? Will it replace...
I feel like I'm
traditional
just
things?
at every conference I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm team virtual production. You're
Okay.
not.
Nope, I'm team traditional. Let's go. I will do the exact spiel that I give to people on a show floor. Here we go. What's your question?
How do I phrase this?
He's nervous now. I got the answers to this. You didn't expect
So
me
this
to
is
have the answer.
so hold on. You're taking team no virtual production.
Yeah.
So my question to you on
Like
a show
for
floor,
everything?
give me an idea of what a question I would ask.
What?
So hold on. No.
He challenges me?
Okay. Let's back up here.
I've got him.
Let's back up here. Let me center myself. Let me get in character.
I'm so prepared for this.
The film production industry is wasteful.
Okay.
We need to do a better job from an economic and environmental perspective to change that. How are we going to do that if we're doing traditional filmmaking?
Would you say that your answer for that is virtual production?
Yes.
Do you know how many emissions a virtual production stage produces every month?
Not as much as airplanes flying across the world with multiple people in it.
Well, what if everyone lives in LA and they shoot in the studio lot?
Well, that's a different story. It's a bunch of light bulbs.
That's most.
A bunch of
shoots.
LED light bulbs.
All right.
Do you know how many emissions come from an LED
They
bulb?
actually do emit heat,
Well, yeah, I know they emit heat, but they're LED.
which means they have a heat sink.
Okay, they're not always at 100%.
Okay.
They're usually anywhere from 30 to 40% brightness,
Right.
which is not using their watch. Every LED is a roughly 60 watts of power at 100% brightness. So 60, half that, less 20 watts of power per LED tile. That times that by the average stage has about 400 panels.
Okay, so hold on one second. I have a question for you.
8,000 watts.
What about the production of those LEDs? Would you say that that's
Control
environment-
studio environment, so you can have recycling on set. Compost.
they're
It's
like
more controlled.
They're like, just throw your plastic bags over there. You're good.
Yeah. Toss them in the ocean right outside.
Would you? Okay, so let's swap away from environmental. Would you say that the quality of your production will be the same if you do it fully on virtual?
If you do it right, yeah.
Okay, how so? I have some VFX shots that I want like a character flying through the air and there to be an explosion. How would you pull that off?
Well, that's going to take some proper planning, but we can pull it off.
Okay.
We can have some ropes and people flying, and we can have some ropes hanging from the ceilings,
Right.
holding a person in front of the LED, environment on the LED. Let's say it doesn't work well on LED.
Mm-hmm.
We'll interchange the frame rate between one green screen, one regular,
Nice.
and now we've got a green screen backup shot.
That is
Okay.
That's a good answer.
Okay. Now we can push our creativity to the next level. And if we cannot for sure get it in camera, we have a green screen version of it that we can fix up the environment and swap it in afterwards.
Right. Okay.
Can green screen do that?
Yeah, and we can actually also flip the character 360 degrees.
Okay, you know what? Green screen's lame. Green screen's old school.
Okay, again, I will say this. Virtual production has its place. This is literally what I say on the show floor.
He does.
Virtual production has its place, and it is a very good solution to many productions. However, it is not the be-all, end-all solution to every production.
Hold on. Bring out the whiteboard. Okay, we're going to go green screen.
By the way, some of the arguments that I've been using against you are just the ones that people use against me online.
You know
All
what?
my hate comments.
You know what? For anyone watching this, Josh doesn't read his comments because he's too sensitive. So we have to filter them for him. So if anybody
Post and
loves
ghost.
to hate
Post
on
and
Josh,
ghost.
we love it. It's funny. But we pick and choose what to tell him. We don't want to hurt his ego.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, is it best to do a pros and cons, or is it best to do what they both can do and check it off to see if it's right?
Yeah, I like that. So
Okay.
we'll do a thing, X or check.
Okay, environmentally friendly. Green screen's environmentally friendly?
Check.
Okay, we're going to check it. And then we're going to do EF.
Why did we go to environmental?
Well, that's the first one. That's the first one. That's the first one we just talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both environmentally friendly? You're going to say this one's not environmentally
No, it's a good solution.
It's a good solution Not compared to green screen in traditional. I'm going to change this. We're going to say traditional.
No, I have the entire team of traditional filmmakers behind me.
Yeah, you do. You do.
This is specifically.
Look at this.
We're
I'm giving myself a check right off the hop here.
Why would you say that's an X?
Because this includes flying people around and going to certain locations.
On big productions, I've got the entirety of traditional filmmaking behind me. What if it's just Bobby and Kenny shooting their first movie in the backyard?
Well, should we be changing this to indie then?
No.
Well, see.
That's traditional.
Well, but it's not indie. This is traditional Hollywood production.
All right, so here we go.
Okay,
gotta fly everyone around to traditional.
Yes, fly everyone around.
You gotta fly everyone to the stage.
We gotta drive. You can go to any city. The virtual production facilities are everywhere.
But everyone's got to be in the same place.
No, they don't have to be. You can do things remote.
Okay, take up more studio space.
Exactly. Hey, I never said anything about more expensive or not. There you go. Budget.
Both of them are X's. If we're talking about Hollywood movies, movies are expensive.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
They're both expensive. Virtual production isn't at the point right now where it could be very, very affordable to just the average person.
No.
If you...
Like on a big stage.
Well, on a big stage.
Well, what kind of virtual are we talking about here?
So even if we're saying Hollywood, let's say I would now consider A24 to be a Hollywood production studio.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, right? But they were sort of like an indie art house.
Like well-funded though.
Right.
But yeah.
But like their first few productions were pretty low. Like they're low budget, but they do exceptional movies.
Right. Yep.
Similar to like Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
$1.5 million budget, but like the movies are out of the park, just fantastic, right? A budget like that might not be suitable for virtual production, right?
No.
Still Hollywood, but low budget.
Okay, let's go ahead and say, I'll give you a point here. Let's go actor immersion.
Ooh, actor immersion. You know, there could have been a better way to write this, and I see it now, and I just, whatever.
They also haven't seen anything that you've written down yet.
Well, they're hearing it. Actor gets fully immersed in the work on a virtual production set.
Yep.
You know?
I agree with you.
All right. What's next? Let me go with traditional filmmaking.
VFX, traditional, correct. In general.
What do you mean?
So easy to do VFX with traditional filmmaking. And by easy, I don't mean it's easy.
Are you saying that we can't give a check marks to VFX for a VP?
How are you going to do an explosion on LED volume?
Well, you can still put VFX on VP afterwards.
Okay.
You can probably put it in the background and have practical explosions be mixed in. I'm going to fully go back to the fact that virtual production is too expensive right now for the most creative people out there to experiment with how creative it could be. And I think that if it was more accessible and people could try things out, they could do it on a wall, practically, with a mix of VP, and it could still work out well.
Think about the car crash scene. The car crash...
In Batman?
No.
Because think about the car crashing in Batman, that was on VP.
Well, yeah, but not the actual crashing of the car.
Fine.
But there is a studio in China that did a test where they flipped an Audi with two people in it and didn't have to flip the car because they flipped the screen.
Yeah.
Or the screen's perspective flipped 180 degrees.
Yeah.
That's some VP magic right there.
That is some VP magic. Lighting. Is that a check for both of them?
Lighting in general?
Lighting in general. Here's the thing. My argument to this. You got to lug a bunch of, what are those big lights called?
12Ks?
You got to bring those out to the middle of the forest to make sure you get a nice beam of light, but you're in a controlled studio here.
Okay, but here's the thing. Virtual production is incredible at simulating the environment's lighting. Traditional filmmaking is incredible at creative lighting.
You don't think that you can be creative lighting-wise on virtual production?
I think you can. I don't think that enough. This is too hot of a take for me to say, actually, because of the shows that have been released in virtual production, the gaffers are incredible. I think we need more exposure to people who are only on traditional sets to join or see a virtual production set, and then the true creativity of how deep you could get into lighting of virtual production will come out. If COVID happens, then virtual production wins.
All right, here's my write down for this. Pandemic friendly.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, check. Here we go. Also, I'll give virtual production another check.
I don't know. Filmmaking's losing here.
It's okay. My favorite movie of 2021 was shot on virtual production. Bullet Train.
Bullet Train was fantastic. But
every other favorite movie that I have in my entire life was shot traditionally.
So you're... Oh, Okay. Well,
Josh's favorite movie, check. 1994 to 2020, 2021.
there we go. Josh's favorite movie, 2021. Josh's favorite movie from birth until 2020. Oh, well, now that's rude. Okay.
There you go.
I guess his favorite movies hold a lot of weight in this debate, huh?
All right, Austin, is your favorite movie shot on virtual production? I know his favorite movie.
See, but
It's old.
all of my favorite movies are old.
It's not a fair debate. And I think that's the point. What we said before, yes, we can joke about how virtual can do this, traditional filmmaking does this better, back and forth. Again, they're just different ways of doing it.
Yeah, there are. There are different ways.
And they're both powerful,
They are.
obviously.
They are. It honestly, again, comes down to what you always say, which is it's not the tool you're using, it's the person who's using the tool.
Right.
Right? It's
And
like,
is it the best tool to execute your vision?
okay, well put. Virtual production can't replace everything.
Think about how much praise I've given virtual production over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. This was difficult for me to say these things. And I am a very pro virtual production person.
Yeah, well, I told you, you had to go against the grain here. VP's got some work to do.
It
bring
does.
bring the price down, get more people using it, get creative, more movies will be shot there.
100%.
We'll go from there. Yeah.
I think that's a great end off. I think everyone is just used to the old way of doing it. And everyone has gotten extremely good at the old way. When something disruptive and new like virtual production comes out, like we're talking about volumetric virtual production, comes out, people start going, well, it can't do this, it can't do that.
Same thing with anything. Same thing with AI.
That's
Same thing with anything.
Yeah, well, it's not here yet. Well, yeah, you're right. But also, give it a chance. Go check out a stage. Try to get on one of these sets. Try to work with the stage, and all of a sudden the ideas will start flowing. I don't think it's one side versus the other. I think the sides need to come together and bring each other's strengths to each other.
Wow. That was beautiful. And put that on your tombstone.
That whole quote,
The whole quote.
from that 3 paragraphs I just said.
Yeah.
Alex, put it on tombstone right here.
Actually, change that. I'm going to put Josh's favorite movies from 1994. Traditionally filmed, 2021.
I was
Bullet train.
running out of arguments.
That's your tombstone.
Yeah.
And scene.